Hi everyone, it's Sophie. Slightly different video for me today. Not crochet related, not planner related. But I have been using my planner a lot for this. Ish. So, let me get to the point. Well, you will have seen in the subject title what I'm going to talk about, which is Whole 30. Now, I am on day 14? 13. I'm halfway through Whole 30. Now, Whole 30 is I'm calling it basically strict paleo. It is a 30-day challenge. I'm not calling it a diet. 30-day challenge where you don't eat any sugar, any alcohol, or consume any alcohol. You cut out grains, cut out, oh here we go, there's 5 things, legumes, and you cut out, what's the other thing? Dairy! Dairy. You can tell what I'm missing, can't you? Now, I got the book, Whole 30. Now, that you don't have to buy the book, you can do it all online, but I wanted something tangible and I also wanted the recipes at the back. You can see from the side of this book that we've been using this. Now, I decided to do Whole 30 and I asked my husband to join me and he said yes, because my relationship with food has become incredibly unhealthy and slightly detrimental. I have done, a lot of you long-term subscribers will know that I had a little girl 2 years ago last Saturday, so she's now 2 years and 2 days old. And before that I had an extremely successful time with Weight Watchers, doing it online. And then Amelia came along and I had no time. With Weight Watchers it was great because I had time to meal plan and I had time to think about what points were in what and da-da-da-da-da. I had time to track. Their app is very good. It's not as good as it was. And then I got pregnant. I basically didn't think about what I was eating when I was pregnant. I ate a lot of unhealthy food. And then when Amelia was born, I basically ate cake a lot, because that's what you do when you're a new mummy. You meet other new mummies in coffee shops and you eat cake and drink hot chocolate, because I'm not a coffee drinker and tea is just boring to drink in a cafe. Anyway, I digress. So it got to the point where I was heavy, really heavy. I've always been yo-yoing between a big size 10 and a size 14, and I'd got to a size 16 and I was not happy. My skin, for those of you who don't know, I have eczema, and actually I'm having quite a bad day on my nose today, and also just underneath my nose. And my eczema was kind of out of control, and it got to a point where I wasn't very happy. So I joined Slimming World and I went and did the meetings. The problem with the meetings is that they're at 7:30, which is my daughter's bedtime, and she really doesn't like anyone else to put her to bed apart from me. And also I didn't really enjoy the meetings. I went, I lost some weight, I gained some weight, I lost some weight, I gained some weight. It wasn't working for me. So two of my work colleagues are paleo and have been paleo for 5 years. Now, paleo has slightly different rules to Whole 30, but this is much more strict. You can have potatoes on this, and a lot of paleo people don't have potatoes. So I thought, you know what, we need something where actually it's written down exactly what we can and can't have, and then we have to work out from there. And what's great about this is this has got pretty much, let's have a look, the back half, this bit of the book, so it's over half of the book is recipes, or how to do the perfectly boiled egg. And actually, I've done so many recipes for boiled eggs. This is the perfect recipe for boiled eggs. And poached eggs. I've never made poached eggs in my life. So, that's kind of why we decided to do it. I've got a really unhealthy relationship with food. I have for a long time. I had yo-yoed a lot and tried lots of different diets, and it just, nothing was working. So we both kind of went, you know what, let's do a reset. And that's what the Whole 30 is. It's a 30-day challenge where you reset. You cut out your dairy, grains, legumes, sugar, alcohol, the famous 5, and a lot of kind of sulfites and artificial things and all that kind of stuff for 30 days, and then you slowly reintroduce and see what those things do to you. And actually, if those things actually produce an unhealthy result, then you just cut them out. It's been a really interesting 2 weeks for me. I went through a real rage phase, the first, I think 3 to 5 days I was like, I want sugar, which tells me how much I was consuming. And now we've kind of settled into a rhythm a little bit. My husband struggled a little bit more with breakfasts than I did. I'm quite happy to kind of have a lot of egg, and that there is a lot of egg being consumed in this diet. Really, the only things I'm missing are squash, so diluted kind of flavour to my drink, because on Whole30 you give any type of sugar, including artificial sugar. So even your no added sugar with sweeteners squash, you have to cut that out because it's just a replacement. It's not kind of, you're not combating your relationship with that bad thing. So I don't like having just plain water. I'm really crap at drinking water, and it just isn't, I just don't like it. I don't know why. So sparkling water has been a really good thing for me. Putting fruit slices, which I haven't done, but I think it should be sensible, so I'm going to do that in the next 2 weeks, in my water just to flavour it, that kind of thing. But however much I had that sugar craving, that sugar monster, in that first week, I'm not really missing it. There are certain things, so we had my daughter's second birthday 2 days ago, and we did buy her a cake, because when it's your second birthday you have a cake, and my mum came to visit and she's not on Whole30, so what was really hard was cutting that cake up and not having any of the crumbs. That was really difficult, but you get over it. Having to rethink how we do certain aspects of our dinners, and I'll talk about kind of my favourite recipes and things like that in a minute, has been really interesting. But other than that, I've actually been quite enjoying it. I've been quite enjoying the freedom of it and not thinking. I've been planning my meals, and we've been buying food, and we're buying good food. That's the good thing as well. And we've been eating really well. Yeah, one of the rules on the Whole30 is to not step on your scales, and I've broken that because I just have. I'm curious. I know that I'm losing weight because my clothes are feeling a lot looser, or a lot less tight, I think is probably the way to say it. I did step on the scales, and I've lost almost 10 pounds in 2 weeks. It's amazing. And that just shows how much crap I was eating. We're permanently exhausted pigeons, I call us, because of our small person that doesn't sleep. So we're very tired, and after a full day of work, we didn't want to cook. So we were getting takeaway once or even twice a week, and that is not healthy. And then we were buying snacks, and we were quite often donuts would appear in our shopping trolley and all that kind of stuff. And just the pitfalls that you fall into when you're tired and not sleeping and still working and have a small person that has demands on you, and everyone who's a parent understands. But not everyone who's a parent becomes overweight. So we had to stop using that as an excuse. So we've been meal planning, we've been having lunches as for leftovers, so we've always been making double portions for our dinners and taking it into work the next day, or having really nice salads. Breakfast for me has been eggs and bacon with a bit of vegetables. My other half, my husband, he's a fruit for breakfast, so he struggled a bit more with cereal and milk, losing that. And I do miss cereal and milk because of its ease. And I don't think, when I reintroduce dairy and grains aren't a big deal, then I will still reintroduce those. I will have my breakfast with cereal when I get back into it, but I think that's probably the only grains and dairy I'll probably have. I haven't missed cheese. I love cheese. I haven't missed it. Weird. Really weird. Anyway, so yeah, the thing that I'm really missing is squash. Flavoured water. It's a really stupid thing to be missing, but that's what I am missing. Okay, so we have done, for our first week we did a full meal plan, and we planned like every meal, well, you're not really supposed to snack, but if you can snack, if you need to, then you can snack on certain things. The things that I have really enjoyed from this book, it's a walnut crusted roast pork, which is beautiful. There is perfect poached eggs in there is amazing. Perfect boiled eggs in there is amazing. There's they do perfect sausages, which is, you're not allowed sausages obviously because most sausages have gluten and all sorts of stuff in them. But what you do is you do pork mince and spices, and you make them into little patties, and you fry them, and they're awesome. And I've been having them for breakfast, and they're beautiful. What else do I love in this book? Oh, the guacamole is amazing. Faff to make, but amazing. Oh, what was the other thing that we had? Oh yes, the pulled pork carnitas. The pulled pork carnitas was lovely. So that was really good. And then week 2 we kind of tried to look at what we used to make and what we usually make as a kind of family meals, and we tried to recreate them. So we had the best ones for that were roast, miss me Yorkshire puddings, not massively, but I do miss my Yorkshire puddings, and gravy for us is another food stuff, and you have flour in that to thicken it up. But the gravy that we've had so far has been awesome, but very watery. I've been eating a lot of these. Snacks for me are fruit. I try not to snack too much, but one of the things that has been good when you've got a bit of a sugar low has been the Naked bars, NAKD, the ones that are compliant, that don't have cocoa in them basically. They've been really good for just a quick kind of boost. They're basically dates and nuts, but I really like them. The lemon ones are awesome. I need to find more of them. And then other than that, the breakfast I've been really enjoying. Just egg with bacon and something else. We've had a lot of bacon and we've had a lot of egg. I think we've consumed about 45 eggs between the two of us, plus a few for the child because she loves the scrambled eggs. So yeah, that's kind of what my favourite meals are. So we've got another 2 weeks. The things I'm looking forward to in the next 2 weeks are kind of more of the same, like feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot more, I'm sleeping better. My skin hasn't done anything to my skin, which is a bit of a shame because I was hoping that that food was going to be a factor for eczema, but I don't think so. We'll see at the end of the 30 days. I'm looking forward to experimenting more with things that we already like. We tried stir fry and it didn't quite work, but we're going to change it up a little bit and see if that works. And then I'm also looking forward to reading this. So I got this from the library, which is called Food Freedom Forever, which is kind of like the end. It's by the same guys, the Hartwigs, but so I devoured this in a day. I read this cover to cover in a day, on a day off, obviously with a small person was in nursery because you can't read a book with a toddler. But yeah, so I'm going to read this in the next couple of weeks just to kind of see what the game plan is for after the 30 days. And then yeah, so I might try and do another update in a week. If not, I'll do another one at the end of the week. But it's been really interesting doing it because this is obviously written by this is put together by Americans, and some of the things that they say you can have, like jerky. You can buy jerky with no sugar in America. You can't in the UK. Some things that they call different things, so you have to kind of translate. Them saying find bacon that's the Whole30 compliant. Yes, quite a lot of our bacon has got sugar in it, but actually there's quite a lot that doesn't, so bacon's been a lot easier than it was made out to be in the book. Yeah. But it's really, really interesting doing it from a kind of UK perspective as well, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of blogs, and I'll link a couple that I've found really interesting, who are UK based, that have been really helpful to kind of help me work out what I'm doing. But other than that, we've kind of just been using the book and kind of translating. But anyway, I will try and do another update in a week, if not 2 weeks' time at the end of it, and then I'll tell you my plan for re-entry, as I'm calling it. I think they call it in the book as well, but re-entry, and we'll see from there. But this isn't just a losing weight thing for me. This is a working out actually what my body can tolerate and can't tolerate, and trying to have a better relationship with food, because it's not been great over the years. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!